introduce one half of the Twin Magic, Mr. Rafe.
Up, guys?
And of course, as always, our local undocumented man, Mr. Cruz.
Hey, y'all, look at this ancient relic I found the other day in my car.
What the hell? You could probably sell that for like $200.
Nah, bro, I can't do that.
Dude,
Hello.
I gotta ask, is that an 8 or is that a 64?
This is a 160 gig.
Holy crap!
Yeah, this is the biggest one at the time. But hello, everybody. Hello. I apologize for distracting everybody with this ancient relic.
I was saying, Cruz got the relics over there.
Oh man, Cruz like dug the real relic out of the box. Jesus Christ!
Next week I'll show off my N64.
They ain't ready for that.
Ancient relic. No.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Unhinged and Undocumented. We are a company of 3 tonight. One of our co-hosts is taking the night off because he likes men and whatnot. But whatever. Before we get started, hey Cruz, I bet you're a little shaky and on edge right now, huh?
No, not really.
Well, because all Trump got all elected again and whatnot.
Oh, God.
And those were our parting words. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
I had to throw it in. Again, everybody, we're Unhinged and Undocumented. I got to screw with him just a little bit. But no, make no mistake, he is documented. He is legal. He is just our resident Mexican.
Only took how long for you to finally admit it?
we're on a stream here. I don't want ICE to show up at your front door and try to deport you.
Nah, I think I'll be fine.
Anyway, welcome back to Unhinged and Undocumented. We got a nice little show for you tonight. So as we said last week, Texas was off. They had a bye week to get themselves together. And before we dive into the game, something I wanted to talk about and bring up, Rafe. We saw it the other day. One of Texas's former 5-star weapons is no longer with the team. Mr. Jonte Cook opting to head into the transfer portal come December. I know, Rafe, you had a little bit to say about that. Where's your mind at right now?
Well, when I saw it, I was kind of shook at first, but then when I was looking at, his position on the team and his amount of targets and catches, I believe he's only got 5 catches on the season.
Something like that for about a little over 100 yards.
Yeah, and granted, he's got that speed, that breakaway speed. He's a really good receiver, but just their receiving core is so stacked that he just wasn't seeing the production on his end that he wanted to see. So
yeah,
I think that's
that wide receiver.
Yeah,
that wide receiver room is just really stacked. So I mean,
yeah.
But it sucks to see him go. But we talked about it the other day and whatnot, and they just have a really stacked wide receiver room, and he wasn't getting the looks he wanted. He wasn't, he wasn't getting the play time that he wanted, or the receptions or touchdowns. But it is what it is. This is the sport. I wish he would have stuck around because, if I'm not mistaken, it was Isaiah Bond and I think Matthew Golden are both seniors, and they probably will be entering the draft next year or after this year.
Yeah.
So he could have been part of something magical next year. But hey, it is what it is. I wish him all the best.
We've got 4 and 5-star recruits coming in, so.
Yeah. We do. We're still out there head hunting, trying to getting some more good players in the mix. But like I said, we wish him all the best. On his next step and his next journey in life. But anyway, moving on. So this week, you guys, we got Texas and Florida. The Gators are coming to town. So for those of you who did miss it or just don't really follow college football that well, the first CFP poll was released, and Texas actually ranked up a little bit to number 5 in the nation, which is good for them because I do definitely think they deserve to be at least in the top 5. Behind Ohio State, Oregon, the Georgia, and who else is up there?
They're Oregon, Georgia, Ohio State.
Somebody.
And it was Penn State.
Miami.
Miami's up there now. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for somebody to bring Miami back down to earth because I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, we've seen Miami do good like this before, and then they get brought back down to earth, and they have to realize they're not that great.
Did you see the first playoff bracket they released? Texas is ranked number 6 on that playoff bracket.
Yeah, I did see that. But I think they'll end up a little bit higher than that. There's still a couple games to go until season's end. I think they can still get some key wins.
The only reason
some losses in the top 5.
Yeah, the only reason they were that low is because of they're not leading the SEC right now.
Yeah.
But if they win the SEC, then they take one of the top seeds, so I don't think it'll be that.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But it's definitely going to be a hard track to the top because you got Alabama taking on LSU this weekend. Well, A&M. I'd say A&M is still in the mix even after getting completely floored by the Gamecocks this past weekend. And if you are an A&M fan,
hell yeah.
But there's still a fair amount of football left to be played. I mean, I think the SEC is still wide open for a taker. If the right things happen, I think it might come down to Bama and Georgia again, or Bama and Texas, or Bama or Georgia and Texas again. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but we can't afford another loss from the rest of the way out because if we want to stay in the SEC title picture, we need to be able to win out, including beating A&M at the end of the year. But so Texas and Florida this weekend. I thought Florida had a pretty decent game last week. They hung around with Georgia for most of the game, but Georgia was able to pull away in the end to hand them a loss. Florida is at 500. They're 4-4, but I would not overlook Florida to save my life.
No.
They're one of those teams that can, sneak up and surprise you and whatnot. So, like I said, Texas and Florida this weekend, they'll kick off at 11 a.m. Unfortunately, I will be at work, so I won't be able to see the game until after I get off work and watch it on a recording. So, yeah, go Horns. Rafe, you got anything to add to that?
No, I think, like you said, it's not a game that they can just go in and, go in blind and expect it to be easy because it's SEC play and that's never easy. So,
yeah, I agree. And it's pretty clear that Florida is not going to. Florida is basically probably just now playing to get bowl eligible and is not going to make a run at the SEC title. So, if anything, I'd expect Florida just to be playing the proverbial spoiler now, just to ruin somebody's season or ruin somebody's hunt. So this is one of those games we definitely have to take very seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with them coming into our house because they're playing at DKR. And I'm sure it's going to be a rowdy bunch, rowdy game. But with that being said, let's dive into our picks this week. Rafe, you got the pick counter up for let's see who's been doing the best and who's still leading. Let me see NCAA picks. Let's see, our records stand at. Oh, look at that! It's me still. Currently, as it stands, yours truly is sitting at 67-23, followed closely by Mr. Cruz at 66-29. Make no mistake, this guy watches the least football out of all of us, and somehow he's in the mix. I don't understand.
I'm still back into this, and in our fantasy, I'm number 1.
Oh, he's wrecking everybody. That's unreal. So anyway, and then you got Cody and Ray for deadlocked at 65-30. Ray, I don't know if you were talking about the NFL picks or the NCAA picks earlier when we were texting.
Not sure.
You said you were coming after me. I don't remember who you were talking about. NCAA. Oh, NFL. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that either. But I'll go ahead and say that on Bliss level 2, you want it? Come get it.
I'm only 2 behind you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Hey, in the famous words of hashtag the GOAT, you want to come get some. Hashtag we love John Cena. Anyway, so we got number 5 Texas taking on Florida inside of DKR this weekend. I feel that this will be a scrappy game and another chance for Texas to show that they can, in fact, hang in the SEC. I will take Texas by. I'm not going to get too outlandish here, but I'm going to take Texas by 14 points.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go Texas by 17.
Okay, and Cruz.
Texas by 14.
14, awesome. Before we move on to the next one, I'd just like to point out here, okay, Texas has one of the best defenses in the SEC this year. I know a lot of people say that they didn't really flex it much against Georgia, but Texas was in that game, okay? I know that Georgia beat them, but Texas's defense did more than enough to keep them in that game.
That was more.
Not to mention when they faced Vanderbilt 2 weeks ago, what's the Vanderbilt quarterback's name again? Pavia or something like that?
Yeah, Pavia.
Yeah, he did go on record saying that the Texas defense are some war horses. They're some dogs, and they most definitely are because we have probably one of the best defensive backcourts in the entire college football league, especially with Jahdae Barron, who is just not allowing anything to happen when the ball comes in his direction.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Again, so we got Texas winning that one. Moving on, we got number 2, Ohio State taking on the Boilermakers of Purdue. Purdue is one of those teams who likes to play disappointment sometime, but Ohio State is just really high-powered right now. And after a statement win for them last week when they went on the road and took on when they went on the road and took on Penn State. That was a statement win for them beating Penn State. So I'm going to, unfortunately, like I said, Purdue likes to play upset sometimes, but there's no logic in this one. Ohio State's going to basically flatline Purdue, probably really early too. So I'm going to take Ohio State in this one by 3 touchdowns.
I'll go Ohio State by 2 touchdowns.
Ohio State by 2 touchdowns.
Awesome. Moving on, we got number 4, Miami, the U, taking on Georgia Tech. I got to take out my glasses. It's a little hard to read these. So I can bring the brightness up on my screen. There we go. That's better.
I get some cheaters.
Right, some cheaters. As I was talking about earlier, we've seen Miami do good things. We've seen Miami do great things. Miami is still undefeated up to this point and has climbed the rankings and whatnot. I am still waiting for that one team from Miami to go up against and bring them back down to earth and remind them that they're not that good. Now, I'm not saying they're not. Miami's got some ballers. They really do, but I feel that it's going to happen. That they're going to go up against a team and they're going to humble them greatly.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be Georgia Tech. Shout out to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, alma mater, Georgia Tech. The ones. I'm about to say, Rafe, put your damn finger up.
In honor of tonight.
Shout out to Georgia Tech, but I just don't think it'll be Georgia Tech's time to shine. So I will take Miami by 24 points.
I'll go Miami by 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah, Miami by 3 touchdowns.
Awesome, blossom. All right, moving on. We got actually a really interesting one, and this one, I think is going to be fun. We got number 3 Georgia taking on Ole Miss. Ole Miss has had a decent season this year, but they had a run of bad luck when they went up against LSU, and they just lost that game in overtime. But after that, Ole Miss took the head off of Oklahoma and then went up against Arkansas last week and just completely obliterated Arkansas. If y'all don't remember the score from last week, Ole Miss beat the brakes of Arkansas 63-31.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was bad. But anyway, so Ole Miss is another one of those teams that is still in the hunt for the SEC title game. They're sitting at 7-2 and taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, who are at 7-1. I think that this is going to be a very high-powered game because while Georgia has a pretty stout defense, Ole Miss has a very stout defense as well and a very impressive offense. So I think this is going to be honestly, I'm not predicting this to be that high a scoring game. I'll say it'll cap out somewhere around 30, 34 points, I think will be the max for both sides. But you know what? Fuck it. Why not? This is gonna be my spoiler game for the week. I'm gonna take Ole Miss to beat Georgia. I'm gonna say Ole Miss wins by. This is my spoiler pick for the week. I'm gonna say Ole Miss beats Georgia by 10 points.
Okay.
Call me crazy. Right, who you got?
I'll go Georgia by a close touchdown.
Okay, and Cruz?
Ole Miss by, you know what? Ole Miss by a field goal.
Okay, last minute field goal. Last minute heroics. I love it.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got. I still am trying to wrap my head around this. We got number 9 Indiana, or number 8 Indiana, the Hoosiers taking on Michigan. Indiana is still undefeated in football. That's a basketball school. They still haven't lost. I'm just waiting for it to happen, but it's not going to be against Michigan. Michigan has way too many problems this year. I think the coaching staff is one of the biggest problems. So I'm going to take Indiana to beat Michigan by 14.
Yeah, I go Indiana by 21. Honestly, it's not even gonna be close.
Increase.
Yeah, Indiana by. I'll go with the right 21.
All right, moving on. We got number 17 Iowa State taking on Kansas. Iowa State still in a very strong battle for the Big 12 title this year. Kansas is not as impressive as they were last year or the year before that. So I am going to take Iowa State for a big win by 21 points.
I'll go Iowa State by 17.
Okay.
Iowa State by 2 touchdowns.
All right, moving on. We got number 23 Clemson taking on Virginia Tech. This was one of my disappointments last week. And I know it. I was pissed when I saw it. Last week, Clemson took on Louisville, and I picked Clemson to just obliterate Louisville.
It was reversed.
Oh my God!
They did not obliterate Louisville. Okay, they lost to Louisville. I was so pissed.
Louisville beat the hell out of them.
Oh my God, they absolutely did.
Oh, I was so pissed off. But anyway, so Clemson and Virginia Tech this weekend. Clemson fell to number 23. I say Dabo Swinney needs to get his team back on the right page in the race for that division. So I'll take Clemson by 10 points.
I'll go Clemson by 13.
Clemson by a touchdown.
Awesome. Moving on, we have the still undefeated Army Black Knights taking on North Texas. This is just me. Army's only ranked number 25. I think they would deserve to be ranked higher, considering they're still undefeated.
For real.
Yeah.
It's such a disrespect to Army, you bastards. I've seen a little bit of the North Texas football this past year. They've been pretty decent, but Army's just on another planet. So
Yeah, for real.
I'll take Army to beat North Texas by 2 touchdowns.
I hate to do this because You literally, UNT is like 10 minutes north of me.
Yeah.
The Mean Green.
The Mean Green.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna go Army on this one by 2 touchdowns.
Just because they're up the way doesn't mean you gotta cheer for them.
That's what I thought, man. I thought he was gonna pick them over the Army. I was like, oh god.
No, I'm not doing that. I've seen their stadium. It's awful.
All right, Chris, who you got?
Army by 3 touchdowns.
Okay, Cruz is predicting they're going to destroy them. I love it. Truth. Moving on, we got number 20, Colorado, taking on Texas Tech.
That looked painful for you to say.
It's very painful for me to say. I hate to say this, but I really wish that more people were on the Colorado bandwagon. I really do. So that when Colorado crashes, okay, they can all be heartbroken, and I can hear all the bitching and complaining to come.
Oh my god.
Okay? I'm sorry. Okay, like I'm not saying he's not a baller, but Shedeur Sanders is not that impressive.
Okay, I'm not gonna go into full detail, but I said something about the Colorado, how they weren't playing well in this one game and they shouldn't have won. Yeah. And I had multiple people telling me that I bet you're a Trump supporter. I was like, that has nothing to do with what I just said.
That has nothing to do with that.
Why? Like, why?
I was like, okay.
I know I brought up that one thing at the beginning with Cruz, but that's just to screw with him, okay? Yeah. This is a cast about talking about sports and the sports that we're passionate about, okay? So it has nothing to do with we're a Trump supporter or a Kamala Harris supporter. It's football. Anyway, the only person I will give true props to on that team is Travis Hunter, the wide receiver / defensive back, because Tom dude plays about 98% of offensive and defensive snaps.
That's insane.
It is. It's crazy as hell. He's a two-way player. He plays wide receiver, and then on offense, and then on defense, he throws right back down there and plays defensive back. I think he's a really good player. Shedeur Sanders is but he's not as great as everybody thinks he is.
No.
I see him still to this day, making the same mental mistakes that he's made last year and that he continues to make this year. But anyway, moving on. They're taking on Texas Tech this weekend. I would like Texas Tech to beat them. I really would. Screw this. Screw this. Go Tech. I'm going to take Tech by 10 points.
You know what? I didn't think Tech had it in them, but they pulled off the upset against K-State last week.
Yes, they did.
So I'm gonna go Tech on this one. I'm gonna go Tech by 10.
Let's go Tech. Let's go Red Nation.
It's a bold claim. No, I'll go with Texas Tech by I'll say that a touchdown.
Awesome. I hope they win, because if not, we're all going to look stupid.
Yeah, for real. More stupid than we already do.
For real, we're going to have us a piece of delicious humble pie.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got number 1 Oregon taking on the Terrapins, which is, if you don't know what a terpin is, it's a turtle. That's basically what it is.
It's a turpin turtle.
Yeah. Basically, Oregon is rightfully the number 1 team in the nation. What the hell is the quarterback's name again? I keep forgetting his name.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, the transfer from Oklahoma. I don't blame him for leaving Oklahoma, because Oklahoma is looking garbage water this year. But they're as advertised, and he's as advertised. I'm going to say this one gets out of hand really quick. I'm going to take Oregon by 28 points.
I'll go Oregon by 14.
Oregon by 14.
Okay. Moving on, we got number 7 Tennessee taking on Mississippi State, the Bulldogs. Tennessee still has a really high-powered offense, and Mississippi State isn't that good this year, so I'll take Tennessee by 14 points.
Tennessee by 17.
Okay.
Tennessee by 2 touchdowns.
Awesome. Moving on, we got number 10 Notre Dame taking on Florida State. I think Florida State has thrown in the towel this year and whatnot. They're currently sitting at 1-8.
Oh God!
After all their hoopla from last year about how they deserve to be in the college football. I can't decide who I like less.
Jimbo, as you would say, how's your vagina?
Oh my God! You can make the college football playoffs.
Oh my God!
Goodness, how's your vagina?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Anyway, I can't decide who I like least. Florida State because I'm on there bitching, or Notre Dame just because I don't like Notre Dame. Fuck it. I'll take the luck of the Irish. I'll say Notre Dame wins by 2 touchdowns.
I'll go Notre Dame by 1 touchdown.
Okay.
Notre Dame by a touchdown.
Good dealio. And possibly the biggest game of this weekend, which will have a lot of implications on the SEC title picture. We've got number 11 taking on number 15 LSU, and they will be in Death Valley for this one. Home of the Tigers. So both of these teams are currently sitting at 6-2. They both still have a chance to lock up a spot in the SEC title game. Granted, some things have to happen. Some teams have to lose. But this is going to be a tight game. This is probably going to be the most talked about game this weekend. I don't like either one of these teams. I don't like Alabama. I don't like LSU. But based on performance, alone, I would take Alabama for the win. But Alabama has shown a lot of holes this year in their offense and their defense. So, damn it, I don't know. This is a tough one. Because LSU has had a rocky year this year. You know, they knocked off Ole Miss, and then they beat Arkansas, but then they turned around and lost to Texas A&M. And this is a big game for them. So, man, but Death Valley, that's a hard place to play at. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to take LSU for a late field goal win to upset the Tide.
I'm going to go LSU by a touchdown.
Okay, Cruz?
LSU by a touchdown.
Awesome. Moving on, we've got number 24 Missouri, the Tigers, taking on baby brother Oklahoma.
Huh.
Is it an understatement to say about how happy I am about how their season has turned out? Like, is it too much to say? I'm like gushing almost, because you remember when there was the talk about Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what all the sportscasters said that they said Oklahoma was built for the SEC, and they're predicting that they're going to do good in the SEC, and it was really that Texas isn't built for SEC play. You don't think that Texas can handle the SEC? Boy, how wrong everybody has been.
It's hilarious.
Oklahoma has just been getting bitch slapped by everybody.
By nobodies, too. They're losing the team.
I'm not gonna say it's been by everybody or nobodies, okay? But you gotta look at it this way, okay? If you look at their schedule, All right, they barely made it past Houston. Okay, and that wasn't even the SEC play. Tennessee dominated them. They barely made it past Auburn. Texas beat up on them. South Carolina completely obliterated them. And then Ole Miss let them know what was up when they bitch slapped them a couple weeks ago. This is the team that everybody said was built for the SEC. Get out of here with that nonsense. Anyway, that would take on the Missouri Tigers. Missouri is another team that is very feisty. Again, a lot of things have to happen. A lot of teams have to lose, but Missouri could find themselves in contention for the SEC title as well. So, and I promise, this is not biased. This is not a biased pick or a biased opinion. This is my real pick. I'm going to take Missouri to beat Oklahoma by 10 points.
I'm going to go Mizzou by 2 touchdowns.
Missouri by 2 touchdowns.
Awesome. Moving on, we got number 6 Penn State coming off that loss to Ohio State last week, taking on Washington. With that loss, Penn State has kind of lost momentum for the CFP playoff, and they cannot afford any more loss of momentum. So I feel that I don't remember the coach for Penn State's name. It's something Franklin. I think he's going to get them back on track this week, and they are going to go into this game with a chip on their shoulder, and I'm going to say that Penn State beats Washington by 17 points.
I'm going to go Penn State on a close touchdown.
Okay.
Penn State by a touchdown.
Penn State by a touchdown. Moving on, we've got Nevada taking on number 12, Boise State. Listen to me, people. Listen to me right now. Everybody, pay attention to me. Okay. Listen to me. Okay?
Okay.
Ashton Jeanty is the Heisman Trophy winner this year.
I agree.
That man, okay, because that's not a boy, it's a man. Okay? That man is not human. Okay? I want you to listen to his stat line right now. And this is why he is the Heisman winner this year. If anybody else wins the Heisman, this is biased bullshit. Okay? Ashton Jeanty has 190 carries this year for 1,525 yards and 20 touchdowns.
That's insane.
And they've still got 3 games to go until season's end.
I hope he hits 2K.
Hundred has put up over 100, over $120 every game this year. Ashton Jeanty is the Heisman Trophy winner this year. There is no compelling argument for it to be anyone else. Okay?
Everyone keeps saying it should be Travis
Hunter. Sanders, not Travis Hunter, not the quarterback from Oregon. What the hell's his name again? Dylan Gabriel. Okay? Not Carson Beck from Georgia. Not Quinn Ewers. No one. There is no justification for anybody to win the Heisman this year except him. With that being said, I take Nevada. I'm going to take Boise State to just run all over Nevada in a very unfriendly win by 21 points.
I'm going to go Boise State by 28 points, and I'm predicting he runs for 300 yards.
Oh, crap, that'd be great.
Boise State by 2 touchdowns.
All right, moving on. We got number 18 Virginia, number 18 Pitt taking on Virginia. Virginia hasn't been that impressive this year at all. They're barely at 400. Pitt did fall last week to SMU, though. I think I called that one right. I don't remember.
Yeah,
anyway,
we all did.
Awesome. I think Pitt will get back on track this week and will upset the Hokies I'll take Pitt by 10 points.
That's Pitt and who?
Virginia.
Yeah, I'll go Pitt by a touchdown.
Pitt by a touchdown.
Alrighty. I might have said the wrong thing with Virginia. I think that's the Cadets. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, move on. We got the front runners for the Big 12 title. Number 9, BYU taking on Utah. Dude, BYU's been impressive this year. I think it would have been interesting to go up against them if we had stayed in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But BYU still undefeated. I will take BYU to just massacre Utah by 28 points.
BYU by 14.
BYU by a touchdown.
Awesome. And last but not least, we got number 21, Washington State taking on Utah State. I don't know much about either one of these teams. I just know Washington has had a pretty impressive year. All things considered, I will say they keep it moving and will upset Washington. Or Washington State will upset Utah by 14 points.
I'm going to go Utah by a touchdown.
How dare you?
Who is it? Utah and
Washington State versus Utah.
I'll take Washington State by a touchdown.
Good deal, yeah. Moving on. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for college football this week, you guys. Again, Texas and Florida, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will be at work. No spoilers. Hook 'em horns.
Welcome.
Moving on, we're going to head into a little bit about the NFL. Rafe, I don't want to talk about Dallas, so you talk about Dallas.
Everybody's most painful subject.
There's not much to talk about, to be honest, so I'm just going to do a quick run-through. The game last week, of course, Cowboys traveled to Atlanta to play the Falcons. As we predicted, Bijan Robinson ran completely all over them.
Over there. Oh my god, that was god.
So, I guess the only thing to say that really the only thing come out of that game was CD went down with a shoulder injury. Dak went down with a hamstring injury, which is originally thought to be 4 weeks, but now they're saying it's 6 to 8. So he's pretty much done for the year.
Yeah, I saw it today. They're putting him on IR.
Yeah. So there's that. That's bullshit. And then moving on to the Eagles game. Cowboys play the Eagles this week in Dallas. They're playing Cooper Rush. Oh, and Jerry Jones decided he wanted to trade for a receiver named Jonathan Mingo. I don't even know who the fuck that is.
I saw that, bro. That was god.
This team is completely in shambles, and as long as I've been a fan, I don't think the team's ever been this bad.
No.
Ever.
No.
Not much to say about it.
I don't even watch that much football, but yeah, I've never seen Dallas in this bad of shape.
I feel like we're the Browns a couple years ago right now.
Oh, when they lost like every game.
I did want to mention that.
And the fans were with paper bags on their heads.
Oh god, what a season that was for them.
It's not a Cowboys thing, but I did want to mention. Holy shit, Jamar Chase went off last night.
Oh yeah, he did. That was pretty wild.
Dude had 246 yards, but 2 touchdowns, and like 11 catches.
Yeah, he had 11. He went 11 for 264 and 3 touchdowns.
Oh my goodness!
I mean,
and they lost.
I'm going to go back and say right now, I don't care if you like it or not, the Ravens got lucky. That was it. And there should have been pass interference on that last call, away from the ball, on that last play. Because away from the play, home dude was being held like, here, let me hold you, hold.
Yeah.
It should have been pass interference in the end zone. Ball spotted at the half-yard line. And like I said, they got lucky. But honestly, Lamar was no sneak last night either, though. Lamar Jackson's stat line was 25 for 33 for 290 for 4 touchdowns. But Joe Burrow, man, I don't care what anybody says. Joe Burrow is still the next Carson Wentz. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh my God!
Even Carson Wentz had the occasional good game. Okay, and so Carson Wentz 2.0 had his good game last night, but it was all for nothing because they still lost. Now, but Rafe, you brought it up, man. Dallas is just in shambles.
Yeah,
it's everything. The coaching staff is bad. The players are bad. Just everything is bad.
they are set to. Micah and Deron Bland are supposedly set to be back this week. From what I heard.
Good. So we might have somewhat of a defense.
Yeah.
Any word on
to be fair, Cooper Rush actually looked decent when he came in and played at the end of the game.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, I know there's also been some talk surrounding Trey Lance that if things don't go well with Rush, that they might insert Trey Lance as well, who's getting bumped to QB2. So, any word on when we're going to see DeMarcus Lawrence again?
It was a 6 to 8 week injury initially, from what I remember. So it should be soon, like next week or so.
But I mean, at this point, do you even risk putting him on the field?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you just fold up shop and take your lumps for the season? I mean, because we're not going to.
Especially if they're going to tank the season. Get it? Because his name is Tank Lawrence.
Get out. Just leave right now. Just leave.
I want you to take your fist, okay? I want you to take your hand, follow up your fist, and just pump the shit out of yourself.
He just goes.
You want to know what something interesting is, though? Despite the fact our horrific record, okay? We still hold a win over the Giants, okay? And we haven't played the Eagles or Washington yet. Now, barring some miracle that we win both of those matchups against those teams, we still make the playoffs as the lower seed. That's the sad part. No, Chris, you're laughing, but I'm so serious. Rafe knows this for a fact. The sad-ass part is that if we were to beat Philly both times, and we were to beat Washington both times, and then beat the Giants again, we win the NFC East.
Dude,
and make the playoffs with we make the playoffs with the lowest possible position and with a losing record.
What a way to make the playoffs. God forbid if it actually does happen.
If that happens, I would be really pissed. It's not going to happen. Let's get real here, okay? Real fans will admit the truth, okay? Dallas' season is over, okay? The Eagles are going to kick our ass on Sunday. And they're going to kick our ass in Dallas, hand our ass back to us, and then leave.
Yeah.
Lord forgive me. And moving on, so we got our picks for this week. Rafe, you got my pick counter up there, man? Show it to me.
There you go.
Let's see here. Let's take a look. You see what we're working with. Who we working with? Who we working with? Oh, it's sitting at number 1 as well. Does that say Jim Russell? I think it does.
I don't know. I can't.
Currently, as it stands, yours truly is leading the pack at 50 and 34, closely followed by Cruz at 49 and 35. Rafe at 46 and 38, and Cody sitting last and Pretty at 45 and 37. Rafe, like I told you, you want it, come get it.
How am I second both of these?
I don't know. Moving on. So, all right, let's hop into some games for this week. All right, we got Dallas and the Eagles. I would like to think that this is a close game, so to speak, but yeah, it won't be. We can't stop the run game. Saquon Barkley out there doing backwards hurdles and shit.
That was amazing when he did that.
That was amazing. You know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'll take the Eagles by 2 touchdowns.
I'll never pick the Eagles. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yes.
It might croak me over to do that. I'm gonna go Cowboys by a touchdown.
In your dreams, maybe. You got?
I don't want to do it either, and I'm not just because the quarterback is on my fantasy team, but I'm gonna pick the Eagles by the Eagles by 2 touchdowns.
Moving on, we've got our game from Munich this coming weekend. Kicking off at 8:30 a.m., we got 2 of the league's worst, and I'm not talking about Dallas, unfortunately. Or fortunately. We got the New York Giants. That's the New York Giants.
Oh, God.
We got the New York Giants taking on the Carolina Panthers. Brave.
All right. Solid
We'll go
thought.
Panthers. Panthers by a touchdown.
Is that okay? Cruz, what do you think?
Oh, God. I'll say. Gee, this is a hard call. I'll say Panthers by touchdown. Just because.
I am bound to never pick that team, so I'll take the Panthers by 10 points. I'm talking about the Giants. Screw the Giants.
This whole night is just physically hurting you.
For real. Moving on, we got the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I made a mistake last week, I believe, in picking the Broncos to win. Yes, I did. I picked the Broncos to upset the Ravens, and boy, howdy, was I wrong. They didn't just not win; they fucking lost. The Chiefs are still undefeated. They're playing at Arrowhead. I'll take the Chiefs by 2 touchdowns. I'm still a huge Bo Nix fan. I just don't think the Broncos got it in them to beat the Chiefs. So I'll take the Chiefs by 2 touchdowns.
I'll take the Chiefs in a close game, 7 points.
Chiefs by, I'll say 2 touchdowns.
Good deal. Moving on, we got the Steelers taking on the Washington Commanders, who are in firm grasp of the NFC East right now. I'm going to take the Washington Commanders, man. They're a tough team. They're a really tough team all around. I'll take the Commanders by 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to go Steelers. I think they're TJ Watt's just a lot to handle, to be honest.
Oh, no.
He's probably the best defensive player in the league. I think I'm going to go Steelers by 7 points because Russell Wilson has actually looked really well as of late.
Yeah, he really has.
And
never thought we'd put those words in the sentence again.
no,
Cruz, who you got, man?
I'll take the Commanders by touchdown. I feel like this game might be a pretty close one.
All right, moving on. We got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Jaguars. I am still I am still a Sam Darnold guy. I'm telling you, man. I know he's had some ups and downs over the past week and whatnot, losing to the Vikings and then the Rams, but they were able to get the dub over the Colts last week. Their defense looked good. Jacksonville just doesn't have it this year. So I will take the Vikings by 17 points.
I'm going to go Vikings by 10.
Vikings by 10.
Moving on, we got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints. There has been a lot of skepticism going on in New Orleans with Marshall Lattimore departing for the, where did he go, Rafe?
The Commanders.
That's right. He departed for the Commanders, which is probably one of their best defensive backs. And then there was the play last week that a lot of people called David Carr out on, or it's David Carr, right? That's right. That's the right Carr, brother, right? Derek, my bad. I get them mixed up all the time. There's a play last week that everybody has been speculating about calling Derek Carr out on, saying that, he shouldn't have threw the ball where he threw it. It caused a huge hit and a concussion for it was Shaheed, right, Rafe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the play, and yes, it was a play over the middle that it's not the best place to place the ball for a wide receiver, but I mean, honestly, it was. I don't think Derek Carr did it on purpose and put Shaheed in a bad position to be hurt. It's honestly, I just think it's a play that's trying to be made. That's it. I mean, and Shaheed went for the ball. It just didn't work out. But in any case, I'll take the Falcons to beat up on the Saints by 14 points.
I'll go Falcons by 21.
Falcons by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Give me just a moment. I am looking at something really fast. Okay. Moving on, we got the 49ers taking on the Buccaneers. The Bucs coming off a close one last week, on Monday night, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime. Man, I tell you, you never want to play Patrick Mahomes in overtime, and if you do, you want to get the ball first.
Yeah.
Because that dude is just so hard to beat. But this will be a tough one. 49ers against the Bucs. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Christian McCaffrey has been reinserted back into practice and is projected to be reinserted into the lineup this coming week.
I heard.
Now, what will his position be? How many snaps will he take? Will he be on a snap count? Will they throw to him out of the backfield? I don't know. I honestly think that they're rushing him back too soon. I know that it's week 10 and whatnot, but I think they're rushing him back too soon. That's just me. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's had multiple knee issues, and now has an Achilles issue as well.
On both legs.
And that Achilles is going to snap. Yeah. And that's going to be it.
Well, he has it on both. He has Achilles tendonitis on both legs.
Jesus Christ.
I know how that feels. I have it.
Yeah, gross. That's terrible.
It sucks.
Sorry about that. Hear that. Anyway, this is a tough one. This is a real tough one. The 49ers are not in good shape right now. What with Brandon Ayuk being lost for the year, Greg Jennings is still up and down, Deebo Samuels hasn't been good. I know they get Christian McCaffrey back. George Kittle is either hot or cold. But the 49ers still have that defense, though. And that's what anchors them really well.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers to beat the 49ers by 10 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go Buccaneers by 14.
Buccaneers by 14.
Moving on, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Indianapolis Colts. This is an easy pick for me. I'm taking the Bills, the heavy favorite. Make no mistake, I still believe in Joe Flacco. I don't know if he gets to start this week or not, but I'm still a Flacco guy. I believe in old man Flacco, but the Bills are just playing lights out offensive football, and their defense is doing decent as well. So I'll take the Bills by 3 scores.
I'm going to go Bills by 10 points.
Bills by 2 touchdowns.
Bills by 2 touchdowns. Indeedy. Moving on, we've got the Chicago Bears taking on the New England Patriots. Man, after that Hail Mary win by the Commanders, the Bears did not respond well last week, losing to the Cardinals 29-9.
No, God, I saw that.
They didn't respond well to that.
Oh, God.
You suck, Caleb Williams.
I've been telling this since before he got drafted. Caleb Williams sucks. But anyhow, I will take the Bears to win this one by 2 touchdowns.
It's Bears and who?
The Bears and the Patriots.
Okay, I'm going to go Patriots by 2 touchdowns, but I wanted to mention something about the Bears last week. Did you notice that there was a play where it was like towards the end of the game where DJ Moore walked off the field before the play was even over?
Oh, I did see something.
Caleb Williams was still scrambling
I saw
in the pocket, like running around, and DJ Moore just walked off the field.
I saw a clip of that, yeah. I wonder what happened.
I heard about that, and I saw them. All I saw was the player of DJ Moore walking off the field. I didn't see what else had happened, but I did see him just walk off the field. While it was very quite apparent that there were still players running around.
Yeah.
I think DJ Moore is about as sick of Caleb Williams as everybody else is.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the... Huh? Oh, Cruz, what was your pick? I'm sorry.
Who was it? New England and...
Chicago.
The Bears by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
Moving on, we got the Chargers taking on the Titans. Justin Herbert's got the Chargers in a good place right now, 5-3. The Titans skated out a win last week over the Patriots. I think Justin Herbert's going to be too much for the Titans' defense to try to handle. So I will go Chargers by 10 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers by 14.
Awesome blossom.
iPhone Chargers by 14.
iPhone Chargers. Love it.
Chargers.
Moving on, we got the oh crap, who are these guys again? Arizona Cardinals taking on the New York Jets. Old man Rodgers has tried his hardest to get it going with the Jets this year. I just don't think that this is the year for them. Even after acquiring Devontae Adams and with Wilson on the outside as well, I think that the Cardinals are just gonna move through the Jets too easily with Murray throwing the ball, James Conner running the ball. I'll take the Cardinals by 2 touchdowns over the Jets.
I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna go upset on this one and go Jets by a touchdown.
Yeah, you probably hate little puppies too.
Yeah. Sorry, can't have nice things. Who is it? The Jets and Cardinals, you said?
Yeah.
Cardinals by 14 points.
14? Good deal. Ooh, and this is probably the most talked about game of the week, and is the Sunday night game of the week. we got the red-hot Detroit Lions taking on the not-looking-so-great Houston Texans.
Oh, my God.
Hold on. Before everybody attacks me about the not-looking-so-great Houston Texans part, I'm not saying that because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan or because I am not a Houston Texans fan. I'm literally, to be 100% honest. If we can be honest with ourselves here, everybody came into this. Now, granted, I know the Texans have a 6-3 record, okay, which is a winning record. But I think I could comfortably say we came into the season with so much more aspirations for the Texans this year, right?
Yep.
Everybody was high on the Texans. Everybody was super high on CJ Stroud being just downright great. Joe Mixon, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, and then don't even get me started on their defense. Everybody was hyped up about how great the Texans were going to do this year. Granted, the Texans have been winning games, okay? The Texans have been barely winning games.
Yeah.
They haven't looked good. And, Chris, I know you don't watch football that much, but, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some highlights from the game.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so the highlights you've seen from the games, again, I know you don't watch football that much, but from a perspective of two people vis-a-vis me and Rafe that watch football as closely as we do, Rafe, help me out here. They haven't looked that impressive.
No, they haven't, and they've lost more as well. They don't. I believe Nico Collins is out. Stephon Diggs is out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Joe Mixon was a little banged up.
Yeah. And then Dalton Schultz hasn't performed like they thought he was going to.
Even he was questionable going into last week. So
yeah, and then I don't even know if Nico Collins is going to play this week or not.
I don't think so.
And then on the other side, wide receiver wise, Tank Dell, dude, what happened to that guy? He was a rookie last year, and he was phenomenal.
Yeah,
like he was so hard to lock up, so hard to defend against the long ball. This year, he's non-existent. Yep. It's just, I don't understand. And not just that, they have what I think is probably one of the top 10 defensive rooms in the NFL, defensive-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But their defense is just letting way too many things happen.
Yeah.
They're letting too many big plays happen. They're not getting to the quarterback like they should be. Again, it's not just, I'm not bashing the Texans because I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm not a Texans fan. I'm simply putting it out there as it is. The Texans have not looked up to par this year.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just injuries, if it's they were held too high of a pedestal and whatnot. CJ Stroud has looked decent, but man, CJ Stroud has been running for his life this year. And he's been sacked a considerable amount of times.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so the game for this is Sunday Night Football. The Detroit Lions taking on the Houston Texans. I had this talk with my boss. My boss is a huge Texans fan, but I told just to rub some salt in the wound, I told him get ready to face an L because I honestly feel that the Texans have no shot of beating the Lions.
No.
In the longest time, okay, you've never heard this line, okay? Since I was a kid, you never heard this line. The Lions are a very dangerous team.
Yep.
Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, good luck stopping them. St. Brown on the outside, Sam Laporta at the tight end position.
Jameson Williams.
Who? Oh, Jameson Williams. Good luck stopping them. And Jared Goff. I told you at the beginning of the year, I'm a Jared Goff guy. Jared Goff is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks that him and Sam Darnold both came into the NFL at the same time. and they both had to find where they fit in.
Yep.
Jared Goff being traded from the Rams to Detroit was the best, single-handedly the best thing that could ever happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, Dan Campbell deserves to be the coach of the year again.
Yep.
There is no coach in the NFL that has more passion and more fire and more belief in his team than Dan Campbell. And not just that, man, that defense, even without Aiden Hutchinson, anchoring the left side of that defense, they are scary good.
Which they did just go out and get Zadarius Smith, too.
Yeah, that's right. They did. They went out and traded for Zadarius Smith to anchor the other side of the defensive line. And not just that, man. They are getting to the quarterback. They are disrupting the pass plays. And they are making the quarterback run. And what has been happening to C.J. Stroud lately? The defenses have been getting to him and making him uncomfortable and make errant plays. And now you're going up against a defense that thrives off of that shit.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a really rough day at the office for the Texans. I'm taking Detroit to win this one by 14 points, and that's not a biased opinion. That's just facts. Yep. Detroit is that good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Detroit by 21 points, and that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay, man, I'm going to need you to take it here. I need you to go down here a little bit. All right, let's calm down. Detroit by 14 points.
Awesome. And our final game of the week for Monday Night Football, we have got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take the Rams to win this one. Oh, crap, I forgot his name. The Rams quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Ever since Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua came back, anyway, before we move on, Puka Nacua, Puka Nacua last week, throwing a fist.
Throwing a fist at a helmet.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Oh my god.
Got ejected in the first quarter for throwing a swing at somebody. Where the hell did it know? Straight just. I was like,
dude, that was hilarious. Oh my god.
That was hysterical. That shit had me rolling so hard. Oh my god. Despite that happening, the Rams upset the Seahawks in overtime 26-20. Jared Goff has looked, not Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford has looked a lot more comfortable ever since Puka Nacua and, what's his name? Huh?
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, and since Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua came back into the lineup, the running back, it's not Akers, is it? No, Kyron
Williams.
Yeah, Kyron Williams just looked good. He's going to Tutu Atwell a lot as well. I just think that they're finally starting to click, thank God. And I just don't think that – honestly, I don't think Tua was ready to come back. And I honestly don't think he should be back. But I'm going to take the Dolphins – I'm going to take the Rams to win that one by 10 points.
I'm going to go Rams by 17.
Rams by 14.
Awesome. And that is going to wrap up the football aspect of things for the week. Thank you so much for joining us with that. We'll hit you guys back next week with the updated, with our updated resumes where we stand. But now it's time to move on to one of our favorite topics of the segment, our childhood love. A little bit of wrestling.
For real.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Oh, God.
You want to wrestle?
No, I do not want to wrestle. Good, sir.
Sal Banditti, want to wrestle?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Maybe we'll do some sort of viewer goal and then we'll wrestle.
Just for a little context, so for the longest time, me and Chris have been friends since high school, and for the longest time, we would hang out, and I would just randomly look at him and go, "You want to wrestle?" And he would say no every time.
Yeah, we'll just be hanging out.
But then there were some rare occasions where he would say yes, and I'd be like, I don't feel like it.
I don't feel like it. Yeah, so it's like, what the heck?
Anyway, moving on to wrestling for this week, we got some stuff to talk about. So, Cruz.
Yeah. One day we'll get that WrestleMania main event between me and Jimbo.
We will live stream that.
For real. So we'll start off with Crown Jewel that we had this past Saturday, which honestly was probably one of my favorite Crown Jewels since they've started doing these.
It was good.
I was a little let down.
There were a few where I was like, give or take. But overall, I thought the show was pretty good. I think the big takeaways are, of course, congratulations to Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes becoming the men and women's Crown Jewel champions.
Indeed.
And if you didn't watch the show, so they had special belts made for them. The belts will stay in Saudi Arabia, but they did get like giant, like Super Bowl sized rings that they'll wear for the year. And then Triple H said, since this is going to be a normal thing, they want to see how many rings wrestlers will collect. So congratulations to them. I think the one match I really want us to talk about is OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. We had Roman Reigns and the Usos taking on Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. Man, what? I absolutely enjoyed that match. Not gonna lie. Sucked about the ending though. I knew there'd be shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. One day we'll go to that restaurant. I think the big takeaway is what happened. Is I believe it was after the match with Sami Zayn. I wanted to get y'all's thoughts about the match as a whole and then what happened afterwards.
I thought it was a pretty decent match. I thought it was a pretty decent spot. Who was it that was on the outside? It was Tungaloa, right?
Yeah, Tungaloa.
Okay, yeah, he was the odd man out. I'll go on record and say I like Tama Tonga. I love his character.
Mm-hmm.
I really do like his character development. It's been great. He has this little weird thing about him. He's like a rabbit. He's like a little rabbit hyena.
For real.
And it works so well. And the thing about it is, I don't see him ever break character. He's like, it's like Jacob Fatu. Every time you see Jacob Fatu, he's always super intense. He's always, slow walk.
Bro, he's
always so super intense. So I think their character development has been so well. Tama Tonga, on the other hand, I don't know what to make of that guy.
Tongaloa.
Yeah, Tongaloa. My bad. Tongaloa, I don't know what to make of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he wrestles and he's a decent wrestler, but then like when he's not wrestling, he's kind of like, I'm trying to think. He's kind of like James Ellsworth. He's just there.
Yeah.
He's just there and he runs interference sometimes.
Nah, James Ellsworth is a goat around here.
I agree with that. And which brings me to the thought of, and I hate to say it because I don't wish this on anyone, but I just don't see him staying with WWE very long because I just don't feel like he has the, I guess, what they would be looking for. I feel like if it wasn't for the bloodline thing, he wouldn't be there.
I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think that he brings that. I don't think he has that certain je ne sais quoi that they're looking for this new bloodline, if you will. I mean, because like I said, Tama Tonga, little rabbit Wolverine, love him. He's. I mean, like when the bell rings, it's like Cruz. You remember Festus back in the day?
That's
Anderson,
in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, when Luke Gallows played Festus, when they ring the bell and he did,
Yeah, he just like
it
freaked
was so
out.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Oh god.
that's how Tamatonga is when they ring the bell. But even after the match is over, or when in the back and having an interview with Solo Sikoa, he's just off to the side.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, my god.
And then you got Jacob Fatu just
Yeah, still just bro.
it's so intense. It's believable. And then you got and it's that what the hell is his name again? I keep forgetting.
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa.
Then you got Tongaloa off to the side, just standing there with the belt, just
vibing, man.
I mean, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, if you're selling the new bloodline as hard as you are, you gotta have your own piece.
Yeah.
There's gotta be something that you're known for, and not just walking around with a patch because you hurt your eye. But overall, I think it was. Yeah, overall, I think it was a good match. I'm not disappointed with the outcome. The super kick or the Haruva kick from Sami Zayn that made contact with Roman Reigns' face. I do think it was an accident, but I do think it was an accident. I think it was enough to spark potentially the fourth member of the OG bloodline.
Yeah.
The only time will tell.
But we'll get to that here in a bit.
I think.
Yeah, only time will tell. Because Sammy was the stick that broke the camel's back, and which led to the split up of everybody. But only time will tell if bringing them back together will work or not.
Yeah.
Well, I think my thoughts on the match itself was decent. The ending I did not like, but I remember when we were making our predictions originally, I had told y'all that I had predicted that was going to happen and set up for, an upcoming PLE where the OG bloodline would win or whatever the case, so they went on the bigger PLE rather than, not to say a smaller one, because I wouldn't consider Crown Jewel small, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the next PLE coming up is War Games, right, Cruz?
Yes.
Yeah, Survivor Series.
We'll get into that in a minute, but moving on.
But yeah, as far as the other matches, we had Knight retaining the U.S. title, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair retaining the women's tag team title. Seth Rollins in an absolute war against Bronson Reed, picking up the win, which is actually really
that was good. That was good.
Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a no contest because they didn't even get the match started.
I think I called that one, right?
But overall.
I called that. That was going to go to a no contest.
And it was no contest? I think he did, yeah. The funny thing was, it didn't even go into the no contest. It just the match never got started, and they just never had the match to begin with. So yeah, but yeah, you basically called it. So shifting from Crown Jewel over to Raw, not really much happened on Raw. It was a pretty good show. Main takeaway was they had a number one contenders battle royal for Liv Morgan's title. Congratulations to Io Sky. She is now the new number one contender.
Who
for
Cruz
Liv
and I
Morgan.
picked, by the way.
Yeah. After all of our other picks kept getting eliminated.
It was we said before the match that it was either going to be her or Lyra, and they were the last two. Yeah,
because we had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were in the ring. We also had Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Shayna Baszler, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Lyra Valkyria, Isla Dawn, Rafe's favorite wrestler, Natalia, Sarah Deville, Alba Fire, and Zelina Vega. So yeah, as we were watching the match, we were like, "Oh, she's getting whatever," and then they kept getting eliminated.
What was funny was I was telling Cruz, I was like, "Watch Bianca Belair win. Jumbo's gonna be pissed."
Oh my god, dude! I will say they have here, so. Then we had Sammy. We had the promo with Sami Zayn coming out explaining what happened. Jay and Jimmy coming out. Jimmy was upset. Jay was trying to defend Sami Zayn more or less, and inviting him over to SmackDown to explain to Roman what happened. And the main event was a fatal four-way, which we didn't find out about this match until they announced it at Crown Jewel, because I saw it for like a split second when me and Rafe were watching it. So we had a number one contenders fatal four-way match for World Heavyweight title against Gunther. We had Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and everybody's 67th favorite Mysterio, Dominic.
Hold on. Before we move on, I just have to comment about how everybody was shitting on Dominic Mysterio.
I was literally about to say that, and me and Rafe were talking about that when we were watching the show. Bro, everybody dunking on Dom was hilarious. Everybody saying we have the three best stars in the ring and Dominic.
We have three elite superstars. Yeah. And Dominic Mysterio. Jesus.
Hey, I'll say this about Dom. That dude was like a split second away from winning that match. God, because there was a point where everybody was down except for Dom, and then Bronson Reed came out and attacked Seth Rollins and put him through the table. And while that was going on, Priest and Sheamus were down, and Dom went to the top rope and went for the frog splash on Sheamus, and he almost had it right there. And me and Rafe were just screaming, "Not this way, no!" But no, thank God he didn't win. No, Priest ended up winning. So he is now the new number one contender for Gunther. So we'll be getting that rematch. I'm not sure when. They didn't set a date. I assume Survivor Series. I assume on an episode of Raw. I'm not entirely sure. But Priest winning, thank God.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think that's really all the big stuff that happened on Raw, Rafe, unless I missed anything.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. I mean, and well wishes to Rhea Ripley, and hope she recovers soon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the whole retraction.
With her, yeah. Oh, there was one other thing they did mention. This was off air. But they did. Adam Pearce talked to Kofi, and they're supposed to be dedicating an episode to the New Day, an episode of Raw to the New Day for their 10th anniversary, which is, I think, sometime this month. Not entirely sure when.
And also,
I think it is this month.
They announced Goldberg's retirement.
Oh match. yes. Goldberg announced his retirement match at I think it was a College Game Day that he announced it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy.
College Game Day.
That's still crazy.
Excuse me. One other thing. What was it? Oh, crap! It just left my head.
You want to say keep going? You'll.
Yeah. See if I can circle it back.
Oh, hopefully it'll come back. All right, so moving on, we had NXT. They had a special Wednesday night edition of NXT.
The ECW
in Philadelphia at the old ECW arena, Bingo Hall, 2300 arena. All the goats came out that night. We had Dawn Marie making her return after, I believe they said it was like 7-8 years away from WWE.
Yeah.
Where they had she was the guest referee for Lola Vice and Jada Parker in their hardcore match. Jada Parker picking up the win.
That ending was bullshit.
Oh, dude, for real. Oh my God.
It
was. Oh, that whole show was amazing. That whole show was great. We had Javon Evans and Wes Lee, Rob Van Dam coming out to help Javon Evans after getting attacked backstage by Wes Lee. So it was cool seeing Rob Van Dam come back.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then we had the main event, which was Trick Williams and Bubba Ray Dudley teaming up to take on Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland picking up the shock pin over Trick Williams.
Yeah, I was pissed about that too.
Dude, that was insane. Oh my God. And then but I think the bigger takeaway from that was the afterwards with Devon coming out and helping Bubba and Trick
And
Williams with.
they said that was Bubba Ray's first match in WWE in like 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
It was, dude. So it was pretty cool seeing the Dudley boys back.
It was funny.
That was
He
pretty
went to the
intense.
local way of the
Awesome.
ring for a table, and he's like, "There is none." He goes, "What do you mean
Yeah,
there's no
there's
tables?"
And we just hear Devon's music hit, and he comes out with the table. God. But yeah. But overall, pretty good show. Hopefully, they do more of these like tribute shows. Someone brought up the idea that they should do a special NXT episode, kind of like this, at the Mall of America, because that's where they had the first Nitro. And
That'd be cool.
I think no, it wasn't this month, but it would be cool to see something like that. It'd also be cool if they went to the Hammerstein Ball for another ECW style show like this.
And they did also announce that NXT Deadline will be at another venue next week.
Yes, I saw that. Pretty hype. Oh, I forgot about one more return, bro. We had Tony D'Angelo defending the North American title.
Oh, yeah.
He defended against the GOAT Nunzio. The FBI making their return. Oh my God, it was so cool. Hey, for Nunzio being 52 years old, that guy's in great shape. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody was hating on Nunzio for how he was looking, but bro, you try looking like that at 52 years old. But yeah, but Tony D picking up the win against Nunzio, but it was cool. That was cool seeing all the ECW goats returning. But yeah, that's gonna do it for NXT. And now, gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. Let's talk about what happened tonight on the SmackDown.
Lay it to smack it down.
Oh my God! Dude, let's just jump right into what happened with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. Thoughts?
I would say that was the biggest takeaway of the night, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's definitely up there.
I really thought that Roman Reigns' apology was truthful and heartfelt.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, I wanted to mention that one thing Cruz and I had talked about earlier. They announced a new title.
Oh,
yes. We're gonna get there. But since it's on the table, Cruz, would you like to talk about it?
But yeah, we'll go more in depth of the with the Bloodline stuff because there's something that happened at the end of the show that.
Yeah, that's the one I thought you were talking about. So that's
okay. Well, we had the opening with Sammy and them. They were in the ring. He wasn't apologizing or whatever. But yeah, we'll talk about what happened afterwards at the end. But yes, after so many rumors, after years and years of speculation, we finally made it official. They have finally announced that we are getting a women's United States title, almost like Universal title. I'm not gonna lie. We're finally getting a WWE Women's United States title. This is something that people, yes, applause indeed. This is something that they have been talking about for a few years now, and I think they kind of did a test run with it, with the North American title over on NXT, which worked out really well.
Yeah.
So they're finally bringing it over to the main roster with the United States title. And me and Rafe were talking about it before you hopped on, Jimbo. And I'm not sure when exactly. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it on Monday or here in the coming weeks. But I'm pretty sure Raw is going to get their own women's intercontinental title for them as well.
No, I was thinking about that. I didn't talk about it with Megan because we were watching SmackDown time before you hopped on, and I was thinking about that myself. I was like, okay, so they're introducing the women's U.S. title, which is great. I mean, hey, hats off to the women. They have definitely set the bar and that curve. They definitely deserve it. So one more round of applause for them. Good deal, good stuff. But and then I was thinking about myself. So this is definitely going to be a SmackDown title. So which means Raw is going to need to debut a new title as well. And the only one I could think of, okay, and I'm glad you brought it up because I kind of put it in the back of my head and I forgot about it, was would they debut a women's intercontinental title?
Clearly, they would at some point. Yeah. Which I hope does happen either this coming Raw or hopefully here in a few weeks.
Which, speaking of that, there was one more thing on NXT. The NXT women's North American champion. There was a 5-on-5 tag match.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh my god, that was a great match. Good. Bro, that was an insane match. But yeah,
and Zarya picking up the win.
Yes.
All around.
And not to mention, she pinned Roxanne of all people.
She did. Oh my god, she did, dude. So,
so Cruz, my question is: should WWE continue to go on that route and debut an intercontinental title for the Raw side of things?
Yeah, they should.
This is a serious question, and I'm not just saying this because yada yada or X, Y, and Z, but I'm serious, and I want both of y'all's opinions. Does Raw possess enough female superstar talent to warrant a women's intercontinental title? Because if you look over at my thought on this was this: if you look over at SmackDown, okay, you got Bianca Belair, you got Jade Cargill. You got help me out here.
Bailey, Naomi, Lash Legend, Car Jackson.
You got the names and whatnot, okay? But then if you look over at the Raw female roster, who exactly are we looking at the Raw female roster that would be anchor it?
Damage Control. Pure Fusion Collective, Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile, Ripley.
We can't forget about Becky. Becky could be the first Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
okay, Becky. I know you got to. Okay, well let's narrow this down here. Okay, so I know you got Alexa Bliss. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got Rhea Ripley. And then you have. What's her name? Her little henchman, Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel Rodriguez.
Okay. And of course, Becky Lynch could potentially come back, but Becky Lynch has been in radio silence ever since she left.
Yeah.
Okay. And the same thing goes for Alexa Bliss. I'm still waiting for Alexa Bliss to come back, but I don't know if she's going to or not.
Yeah.
With that being said, who else do you have on the Raw side of things to anchor this title? Just by the names alone that you gave me doesn't give me enough confidence for them to debut a title like that. I mean, Damage Control, not Damage Control, Pure Fusion Collective, Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree. I mean,
if anything, Shayna Baszler from Pure Fusion Collective would be a solid choice.
If they did that, I feel that they would need to branch her away from them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
she would be a pretty good choice.
And someone else that I failed to look at as well was Damage Control. Io Sky, and Io Sky and
Kairi Sane.
And Kairi Sane.
And we're also forgetting about Asuka.
Yeah, I know Asuka and Dakota Kai are on the shelves right now and whatnot, but. It's something that's been in my head and that I've been thinking about. If you were to debut another title for the women's side, and it was a women's intercontinental title, would you have enough superstar prowess to anchor it?
Well, I feel like they could for two reasons. One, it would give them an opportunity to bring up someone like Jordan Grace from TNA or bring in Zarya. I mean, Zarya's already looking good over in NXT. And you've got Roxanne Perez, who is probably going to be on the main roster pretty soon.
Hopefully.
And then the second reason I would say is because I was telling Cruz earlier that it would give more. It would help with cards more, like when it came to WrestleMania or these 2-night SummerSlams that they're going to start doing. And I was telling them, like, maybe they'll have enough to start doing a 2-night Royal Rumble at some point. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
I think that's maybe where they're going, is to basically create more opportunities for more superstars to get in the limelight before they hit that main event level.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Cruz. With that being said, Cruz and Rick, I have a scenario for y'all. Okay. So, y'all know how with the major titles that they use certain superstars to get other superstars over. Like, when Cody Rhodes came back. They didn't give him the title right away. They made him lose at WrestleMania. He had to win 2 Royal Rumbles and whatnot to get it back. They used Roman Reigns to push him.
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't just ram him down everybody's throat. They used Roman Reigns to push him, build him up, hype him for 2 years before they put the title on him.
Yeah.
Okay. With that being said, something I thought about with there being enough female superstar prowess to anchor this title, if they were to go this route, would you consider bringing back somebody like the name of Charlotte Flair to anchor this title? To start building people up, getting more superstar talent to Raw to not only anchor the title for now, but to actually get more superstar power on the Raw roster for the women's side.
Yeah.
Not a bad choice. Name value alone, it's not a bad choice.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Name value alone.
Like a 15-time champ or 12 or something? Like,
her, Becky, and Bayley on SmackDown, if they do, depending on how they're going to do this, I assume some sort of tournament or whatever. I think having names like Bayley, Naomi, Io, Shayna, all these people that have been NXT champion or champion before. Name value alone, you're getting eyes on your tournament or however you're going to decide this. So the fact that you got these big names and then names that maybe haven't gotten that big push yet, or maybe they're from NXT. Maybe they do some promotional NXT Raw or NXT SmackDown, depending on how they're going to do this. Because there's a lot of names people want to see be champion already. Chelsea Green, obviously one of them. She's pretty over right now. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, we'll throw her up there. Zelina Vega is probably the biggest one that people want to see get pushed.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Kairi Sane
I could
get
actually
another
see
run
her
with the title.
getting a mid-run, like a mid-card title, like the Intercontinental or United States.
Yeah, this might be the perfect opportunity for Zelina. And then much like with the men's, use these titles to build up that person to potentially become the world champion or women's champion, to put it up to that main event picture.
And there's one name that that got left out, and I feel that she definitely has the prowess to be in the main card and to be in the any championship circle. Mm-hmm. Lyra Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Oh, Lyra Valkyrie, absolutely.
So here's my thing. I know you're talking about these people that you want to push and whatnot. So with that being said, if you go into like tournament mode, okay, and you bring in a name, I know she's coming back off an injury, like Charlotte Flair, you immediately put attention on this title just with that name alone.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you put in Lyra Valkyrie, you put in Chelsea Green, you put in Piper Niven, you put in Io, you put in Dakota Kai, you put in Kairi Sane. Yeah. You put these names in tournaments, okay? But with the name values alone, like Charlotte Flair, you give the build up and the push to make this title pop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that.
Also, I know you had mentioned, does Raw or does SmackDown have, a big enough roster to do this? I don't think they'd have to worry about roster size as far as the women, because they could just get people from NXT, because there's a lot of people in NXT I'm pretty sure would like this opportunity.
Yeah. Oh no! Okay. There was a misconstrue there. I didn't mean roster size. I
got you.
I meant talent prowess. Like, do they?
Absolutely.
Because do they have enough big talent to anchor these titles? Because
absolutely,
without a doubt, the U.S. Women's title is going to be a SmackDown title.
Yeah.
If they keep going this route, the Women's Intercontinental title is going to be a Raw title.
And there is one more name that's kind of interesting to me that could bring a lot of light to it as well. Nikki Cross.
Who's it?
Oh, God.
I don't see that one happening right now. I think there's too much.
I don't see it happening, but I'm just saying, I could see it at some point, just with the light that they have brought with the Wyatt Six.
Or do we potentially get someone we never expect, and we get Scarlet?
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
There's a lot of names. There's also NXT names we could probably throw out.
Interesting.
Lonnie Jordan.
Yeah.
Lonnie Jordan is one that I can think of. Lola Vice, Jada Parker. So there's a few names that we can throw in.
Like I said, the reason I brought this up, it was superstar prowess that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you look at SmackDown, I think that SmackDown definitely has especially with Rhea Ripley being out right now, I definitely think SmackDown has the bigger female superstar prowess.
Yeah.
You know, with God forbid I say this, but with Jade Cargill, with Bianca Belair,
Bailey,
Naomi, even with what's her name? She fought her tonight. Who did Bailey fight tonight?
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, Candice LeRae and whatnot. She's coming up. I just think when you look at roster wise, SmackDown has the bigger roster prowess right now for the female side.
Yeah.
You know, especially with I forgot about Nia Jax. With Nia Jax also. Yeah, with Nia Jax also and Tiffany Stratton waiting in the wings with Money in the Bank briefcase. I just think.
Oh my God! What if they wait for it to crown the United States champion or the Intercontinental champion? Oh my God! Oh my God! That'd be crazy.
That'd be wild.
That'd be crazy.
That would be wild as hell. But like I said, just from a female superstar standpoint, like I said, with Rhea Ripley being out because of the orbital bone fracture in her eye and whatnot, I'm not sure how they're gonna treat Liv Morgan right now. Because honestly, I think they could have milked that storyline for a lot longer.
They probably could have, at least to Survivor Series or so.
Yeah, I mean, so it begs the question. You know, how are they gonna? Not how are they going to? Because there's always a way to do it. But I just think that SmackDown has the bigger female superstars right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, moving on from that, good talk.
Oh, absolutely. Those are always the best ones. Another big segment that happened on SmackDown was the altercation between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Oh my God!
The sickest package pile driver I've ever seen.
Dude, I haven't seen somebody get hit with a power driver in a while.
Oh God, I haven't seen anybody get hit with a power driver like that in a while.
Michael, they were like, that move was banned.
Dude, yes. Oh my God, dude. I love that they sold the move.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but during Randy's promo, he kind of had to fix his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then
sell the attack.
At one point he said, "I don't give a shit," and it's like,
I died when he said that.
Whoa!
Yeah, for real.
That was like a couple of weeks ago when Bailey called Tiffany Stratton a bitch.
Oh God, dude! Everybody's just roasting each other lately.
For real, like religiously.
Another interesting little situation going on is Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano taking on DIY. Ciampa, you alright? Because that dude lost it. Straight up attacked both both Pretty Deadly, and ended up winning the match by himself. Never even tagged in Gargano. But yeah, the Blackheart coming back.
I've been waiting for this side of him to come back out.
Yeah.
And then I know they had a backstage segment with Motor City Machine Guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Street Profits kind of got involved. And they did confirm Next week on SmackDown, the Street Profits will take on Motor City Machine Guns for the tag team titles.
Before we move on from that, given how Tommaso Ciampa is feeling, given the signs of the black heart finally resurfacing in him, do we detect a little bit of outside interference in that match next week?
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. Oh, absolutely. Dude, Ciampa's still mad about them losing the tournament.
Because when they told him that Nick Aldis confirmed it, he said, what the hell is this crap? And he just stormed off. Do we detect a little maybe outside interference costing them the match?
Most likely.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God. I didn't think about that till now. Oh, excuse me. And then finally, we move on to the final segment of SmackDown. We had the continuation of the Bloodline story. We had Solo Sikoa doing the Tribal Chief Acknowledgement Ceremony. And then we had Roman Reigns coming out. Yeah, we love you, Solo. No, we love you, Roman. Yeah. I'm waiting for Jacob Batu, Paul Heyman, face off, be like,
oh my God,
I love you, Roman. I love you, Solo. And they just go back and forth. Oh God, dude, we need the Paul respect. Hopefully, he comes back.
That would be great.
Yeah, we had the OTC challenging Solo Sikoa to a winner take all match of sorts for the title of Tribal Chief. Instead, Sikoa laid out the challenge for a War Games match. They didn't officially confirm it, but it's basically a War Games match.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall. He said, "Go find 4 other people in the back to be on your team." And I got my 4 people right here. And Roman was like, "What 4 people? Because I only see 4 of you." And he was like, "Well, I got Jacob, Tama Tonga, Loa, and me, and the 5th man, Sami Zayn." And we see Sami Zayn coming out at the entrance, and he's just standing there. And I just immediately beat down Roman.
Yeah.
And the Usos come out, try to make the save. They get beat down too. And Solo is about to hit Roman with the Simone Spike. He calls Sami Zayn down from the ramp. And he just yells at you. Just hear him yelling at him, "Kick him in the face! Kick him in the face!" And he does kick him in the face. He kicks Solo in the face.
And he shoots him off.
Man. Oh, yeah. He shoots him off. Kicked him with that shoe. Yeah. And then see the OG Bloodline get the numbers advantage for their side. And they chase away the new Bloodline. I keep getting the Bloodlines confused. Yeah, Team Bloodline. And then we see the one image I never thought we'd ever see again. See Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, and Roman Reigns throwing up the ones, acknowledging the OG Bloodline. And I do believe those will be the teams for War Games.
Well, they did say 5 people.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm wondering who's the 5th person on each team. And I was telling Cruz this. I said, what if it's because of his relationship with the relationship he's built with Jey Uso? What if Randy is on their team and then KO takes the new Bloodlines team?
Yeah, joins the new Bloodline. that'd be quite a wrench in the.
It would be, but I don't see it happening. Only because of the history between them and both sides of these parties. But not just that. I definitely feel that the climax of this Randy Orton and KO thing, the climax is coming most likely at War Games,
well,
and it will be almost like Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
Yeah, I've
their climax. We still haven't seen either one of them since Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I've also had the thought of maybe. I know they signed who's Hikuleo, but he's supposed to be Tala Tonga in WWE. Maybe he joins the new Bloodline, and then we get because Zilla and Jacob Fatu were so close, Zilla comes in and helps Roman. Like,
oh god,
That'd be interesting.
dude, that'd be crazy. I guess I have to.
I mean, he's been hinting at it.
Yeah, he's been hinting at it, and I'm still waiting to find out. Who, as I'm sure we all are, where the Rock fits into all this, because we haven't seen him since.
Not.
What was it? Bad Blood, I think, was the last time he came out. Yeah, because it was after a tag team match, and he just did the three, and then he did that,
Yeah,
and,
he said,
and we just never saw him ever again after that. Yeah, because he saw Roman, Cody, and I think it was Jay, and he hasn't made any statement or anything. He hasn't come out on either show, so I'm curious where he fits. Maybe he comes out for a Survivor Series or something.
At this point, anything's possible. I mean, they have, especially now that they've announced their own indie development, so that they're using ROW now.
Reality wrestling. So, oh man,
Cody Rhodes, the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, it's Cody Rhodes' school, reality wrestling, and Seth Rollins' school.
Yeah.
So we shall see. And
we shall definitely see.
And that's pretty much it for SmackDown. Those are all the big major stuff coming out of all the shows this week.
Good stuff, man. Good. Lots going on. Lots of good stuff happening. Lots of good storylines developing.
Yeah. There was one more wrestling related thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, there it is. And I'm not gonna lie, I was wondering about this. Just because I was watching an old match of theirs. So Carl Anderson announced earlier that he's going to be out of commission for 6 to 9 months following an arm injury. I believe he said it was a rotator cuff injury. So if I can find it. Yeah, they think the injury occurred in the last match they had in September against Hank and Tank on NXT.
Oh.
Yeah, he hasn't gone into full detail about it. I believe it's a rotator cuff, and he is going into surgery. So, but yeah, and I was wondering what he was. He underwent surgery for torn rotator cuff tendon and a partially torn labrum. Yeah, he said he'll be out for till at least WrestleMania. And I was kind of wondering about it because I was watching TNA, and they were on there back when they were still on TNA as the tag teams, and I was like, I wonder what happened to them. So I looked it up, but yeah, it said it in their interview. So yeah, so speedy recovery to.
Oh yeah, all our prayers and best wishes for him for speedy recovery.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna cover for tonight. You guys got anything else y'all want to add?
Yeah, I actually have one more thing. Sorry to cut y'all off there.
Oh yeah, good. What you got?
This isn't really sports related or wrestling related or anything like that. But I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but unfortunately, Tony Todd has passed away. For those of you that don't know, Tony Todd was the original Candyman, and he was in the Final Destination movies as.
Oh, that's right.
He unfortunately passed away earlier today.
Man, that totally sucks.
Yeah, I the news just came out of nowhere when I saw it, but yeah, unfortunately, that's why. So prayers to the friends and family of Tony Todd. Very cool actor, very very cool guy apparently.
Very cool.
Loved him in Candyman, but
yeah,
very sad to find that out.
Yeah, that does suck.
It does. I'm sorry to end it on such a downer.
Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is. We're not all immortal in this world and whatnot. But yeah, it does suck. The only last thing we'll end on is it's another little bit of a downside and whatnot, but it comes off the heels of one of our Rafe knows this guy, Chris. I believe you've heard his name and whatnot. one of our sports analysts that we admire quite a bit, Mr. Kurt Herbstreit.
Oh,
I don't know
yes.
if you've heard or not, but Kurt Herbstreit has a dog that has been traveling with him for the past 10 years. His Goldie, Ben Herbstreit, as he named him. When Texas played Georgia, old Ben had the opportunity to meet Bevo. That meeting went a little bit better than when Bevo met Olga.
It did. It honestly did.
But yeah, unfortunately, old Ben was just a little bit too down, a little bit too sick, and wasn't able to pull through. So he passed away last week, I believe. So prayers go out to the Herbstreit family and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's those certain things in life that just help you get through things and help you be better. We all see it out there, for sportscasters, for sports figures and whatnot.
Yeah.
Kurt Herbstreit had been. Even Matt Hardy had his dog back in the day. CM Punk's got his dog
Cody Rhodes.
as well.
Old Larry.
Cody
Rhodes has his dog.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes had his. Yeah, exactly. These. I know we talk about sports, we talk about sportcasters and whatnot, but the thing that a lot of times people fail to realize is that these are people, and they do have their own lives, and sometimes the pressures of the lives take tolls on them, and these animals relieve some of that pressure and whatnot. So anyway, just to end on that, shout out to Kurt Herbstreit and whatnot, the whole Herbstreit family. Ben, you'll be sorely missed, but yeah. Other than that, I think we're wrapped for the night, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Tomorrow, Texas taking on Florida at 11 a.m. Don't miss it. Hook 'em horns. We'll see if the Cowboys can do anything against the Eagles on Sunday. Probably not. Right?
Just sport, at least.
You're going to be like that picture of that video of Squidward poking the rock. Do something. Anyway, until then, I'm one of your hosts, the big man Jimbo, with my half the twin magic, Rafe.
Hey-o.
And of course, our undocumented man himself, Mr. Cruz. We are unhinged. We are unhinged. We are undocumented. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.